Hello everyone, my name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. If you're new, I like to react to video game music from games I've never heard about or played. I myself am a musician. I've been playing guitar for many years. Today I'm going to be doing a request on PayPal from Daniel, who sent me nearly this entire soundtrack. This is Project Wingman Calamity. Well, I've heard, Project Wingman a couple of times on this channel, discovered them here, or discovered the OST here. The composer, Jose, probably watches my channel. That's pretty cool. Such an honor. But no bias here. I'm always just honest on how songs are or anything. So, yeah, Calamity. Kind of on the shorter side. I'm guessing it's meant to loop. But, with a name like that, I guess I'm expecting some kind of like hard-hitting type of it's either gonna be like hard-hitting or maybe melodic and emotional based on the song title alone, which means like just a sudden event of like destruction and stuff. Anywho, this is Calamity. It's going up in octaves, kind of building a tension. Ooh, I wasn't expecting the violin. Not at all. Typically do not hear violin with these kind of percussions. There's that wow sound. Huh. Okay. So that was pretty much a big build-up to leading into the like violin solo, which I guess I'll talk about that first. The violin part, super pretty. I love violin, one of my favorite instruments. I don't know who performed it, but it did indeed sound like a real player, not a MIDI or anything. I was trying to think in that short amount of time, like where have I ever heard in my life, across all the genres that I listen to, like where have I heard percussion like that behind violin, and I couldn't really think of any. It was kind of like a clash of two worlds. So it was a nice kind of like apex to the song, which brings me to my next point, is that the whole thing was just like a build-up, right? It wasn't. It's let me backtrack a little bit. So from the songs I've heard, they're kind of everywhere as far as genres. They kind of have a little bit of everything, but most of them have like this orchestral feel, and in this one it was like almost all that, just a big tension building, like strictly context-based stuff, right? Like it has no fun factor, for lack of a better word. It's more like just like strap in to your seat, no pun intended, but something's coming type of thing, or like a battle theme, or like a first phase of a battle, or leading into battle, something more intense and prepping you for potential doom type of thing. Especially, I'm going off of the song title, but mostly the feel of the drum beat that just kind of had this like heartbeat-esque rhythm, which makes sense because you're tense in those moments. I don't know if that was intentional, but it definitely had a more serious tone to it. More like, damn, something's about to happen right now. But what's really cool about Project Wingman so far, from what I've heard, is they're a combination of not only styles and instruments, but the it kind of sounds like to me a clash of eras, right? Like when I think orchestral and big stuff like that, I typically don't think of like electronic random synthesizer going, you know, zzz, stuff like that. You know, just like those little ambient notes that you would hear in like maybe Doom or something like that, or anywhere really that has like electronic sounds. But instead of like notes per se, they're just kind of like hitting a chord that's in the key, and it's more like a ambience that's like, whoa. So we have all these like, you know, bits and pieces from around the world of music and the world in general, just kind of like all in here. So it kind of makes me think like, does this game kind of take place everywhere, or is it like a fictional place? But it seems to me that the music is kind of made for both emotional feel, probably most importantly, but maybe secondary would be like location. Maybe there's a lot of locations, different settings, right? Different, I don't know. Like I've never really thought about like settings in a game like this. You know, how much can you? I have to think about that. I have to look into the game a little bit, because the only thing I can think of is like changing the sky color, what time of day, and I guess if you're detailed enough, the ground below. So that makes me think, right? That's why I guess no one really thinks about music when it comes to these games, because you're kind of just, you know, pressing buttons and blowing stuff up. So it's really interesting that it's making me think like all these layers when it was just like a very simplistic ambient song. There was nothing really, I don't mean it in a mean way, but there was nothing like spectacular going on. It was just a moment to feel tension and possibly something greater coming, kind of like an in-between type of song. I kind of feel that like something could have come before it, like another song before it and one right after. So not a bad thing, just what I got from it, but really cool. Once again, Project Wingman has a very, oh, and did I mention, I'm probably going to mention this every single time, Project Wingman, mind you, I'm just listening to it on YouTube, so I don't have any like official like recordings, physical copies or anything like that. But if it sounds this good as far as like the EQ and the mixing here, then I can only imagine in-game with all the sounds going on it, with the story context, with everything. You know, that changes everything. So the sound design is superb on these, and I just had to kind of give that up, because everything sounds right in the mix. Nothing sounds kind of like overbearing. Nothing is taking the lead, really. Everything is just kind of there, and that's really impressive. That's really cool. It sounds like an actual album to me. And basically, at the end of the day, I don't know what's coming next with Project Wingman. I know it's going to be... Okay, well, here's something that we can look forward to in the future, because I have more of these coming. A lot. It's going to pretty much 90% of the time sound good, right? I can expect it to sound decent. I highly doubt there's any bad songs, because you can tell the passion that was put into it. And there's going to be a combination of like electronic, and there seems to be electronic sounds no matter what, and then everything else is kind of like, who knows. So basically I'm saying is like, I really have no idea what's going to happen every time I click one of these. I just know it's going to sound decent. I don't think I'm just going to all of a sudden get some jarring, like, you know, ear destruction. I think it's one of those things where it's like a safety net. It's a good soundtrack. A great soundtrack, actually. And I'm actually curious, final thing I'm going to say here, because I feel like if you play this game, you surely know about Ace Combat and vice versa. So I'm curious as to the people that have played both, right? They either learned about this one first and then the other one, or vice versa. I'm curious, not which one does it better. It's not a competition. It's more like they do their own things. But how do you feel about both of their energies in their respective game? Like, do they do their job? Does it? Do you wish something else could have happened? I'm talking about music specifically in these games. But I'm just curious, for the people that have played both, what are your thoughts overall on how the sound design is, including the everything else, not just the music as well. Should have been more clear about that. I can only imagine that it just has this cinematic, edge of your seat type of feel, and that's exciting. Because you're going 1 billion miles an hour in the sky shooting stuff. Sounds exciting to me. But when I think that, I would think more, I guess, like faster paced music, not knowing which genre, but I guess I would just think more like energetic. Not that this needs that. It's just what my brain would immediately think it would go to. But this is a nice treat. I like it. Project Wingman is really cool. And everyone involved seems to be really cool as well. And the fans are really passionate. They know everything about it. And one of these days I'm gonna look at footage. It's not my priority when I get these videos. I'm paying attention to the music. But it would be cool to just look at it and just kind of experience it. But until that day happens, thank you so much, Daniel, for the request. I have the rest of them coming slowly but surely. If you want to do the same thing, you can request something on Patreon, or you can request something on PayPal. Those are guaranteed ways that I will check out your VGM, although they are not necessary. Again, they just guarantee it. If you do not want to wait, there is the Platinum tier support on Patreon that skips the line, and it's quite the line. And that's it. And limited slots on that, only 10 are available, and I think right now maybe 6 are open. So just putting that out there. Big shout out to Fly, Jack, Celador, and Roguemog for being Platinum supporters. Thank you so much. Until next time, dudes, and until next time to the dudettes, my name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I will see you in the next video, and look out for more Project Wingman in the next throughout the next couple weeks. Take it easy.